Compound interest is truly one of the greatest tools in the world for growing wealth. Over a long period of time, the returns on your original investment can become truly extraordinary, and one can turn a fairly small amount of money into a huge amount. So what if this compounding interest in a savings account is applied to a deflationary, rapidly growing currency like Bitcoin? The answer is your wealth grows much faster. Let's look at the classic Bitcoin pizza example. In 2010, 10,000 Bitcoin were used to purchase 2 pizzas valued at, let's say, $20. If that person had held on to the Bitcoin up until today, those Bitcoin would be worth approximately $40 million. Now, let's say Btcpop.co was around back then. If that person had invested 10,000 Bitcoin in Btcpop's risk-free savings account, which returns 5 to 15%, even at the low end of 5% APR, those 10,000 Bitcoin would have grown to 14,180 and be worth $56,720,000. That's $16.72 million of extra profit just for holding the Bitcoin in a savings account over 7 years. This, of course, is an exaggerated example, but the fundamentals are true, and Bitcoin is still young and growing, and it will likely continue to increase in value, albeit at lower percentages. So you may be thinking this Bitcoin savings account sounds too good to be true, but it really is true. There are just a few different variables that go into it. First, if you understand Bitcoin, you'll probably see the issue with the Bitcoin savings account. With Bitcoin, you either have possession of the private keys and own the Bitcoin, or you don't. It's that simple. When someone else holds your private keys, all you own is an account with some IOUs for that Bitcoin. As a Bitcoin user, you also probably understand there is no thing in this world that is risk-free, even storing your own private keys. And anytime your Bitcoin is controlled by someone else, there is platform risk that that third party fails. This is true for Btcpop just like any exchange or other platform, such as Bittrex, Poloniex, or Bitfinex. However, you can be assured that Btcpop prides itself on its advanced security, cold wallet coverage, and redundant security and backup protocols. Btcpop has handled the transfer and holding of thousands of Bitcoins, and not one Satoshi has ever been lost on the platform that was not the fault of the user. So now that we have established that your funds are safe at Btcpop, let's dig into how the savings account really works. First off, it's not called a savings account, even though it acts very similar to one. At Btcpop, it's called an instant account, which is an interest-bearing risk-free wallet. This instant account goes into a pool of funds that is used as a liquidity source for Btcpop's instant and instant collateral loans. Instant loans are simply loans at predetermined amounts and rates depending on your reputation and collateral offered. They give users the ability to get instant access to a loan without waiting for peers to fund them. So when a user takes out a loan for say 1 Bitcoin at 15% interest over 6 months, when they repay the loan, the 1 Bitcoin of principal will go back to the pool and the 0.075 Bitcoin of interest will be dispersed proportionally among people with funds in the pool. Instant pool funds also remain available for withdrawal at any time, and if you're wondering how this is possible, it's because the pool is backed up by Btcpop's very own reserve wallet to allow this. There is also no default risk from the borrower, as defaults are a loss only to Btcpop and not instant fund users. This makes the instant loans an extremely good return for risk, as there really isn't any risk besides the exchange risk which we already covered. The only real downfall of Btcpop's instant pool is that the more people invested in the pool, the smaller the percentage of the pool your funds are, which would lowers your APR. However, with low-risk substitutes like margin lending and collateral peer-to-peer loans, the APR for the instant pool has remained quite competitive, and for the last 6 months it has been in the 5 to 15% APR range, all risk-free and denominated in Bitcoin. So if you're holding Bitcoin long-term, hurry up and put that Bitcoin to work with Btcpop's risk-free instant account, and start growing your Bitcoin and compounding interest today.